In the good old days of crypto, when I was old and fat, I gave you guys a prediction of $25 for XRP. Now that I'm young and skinny, has anything changed? The answer to that is absolutely not. When I gave you that prediction, XRP was trading at around 40 cents. And we had a nice run to $4. So now I'm going to come back here and tell you guys why I think $25 is still the play and is still the move for XRP. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. All right, people are starting to notice XRP price eyes a big breakout as triangle pattern signals a 16% move. Is there going to be a big move? Now, I do think that there is, because I believe that we are in the spot right now where we're going to have a big test, which is at $2. And then I think we're going to see a significant bounce. And I'm going to show you exactly why that is right now. So the next big narrative is XRP in 14 days has $906 million in inflows, which is going to 1 billion faster than Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, what did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin did from its bottom in the dip, which let's just say that that's probably where we are right now. Okay, $2, probably the dip portion of that XRP launch. Took about 3 weeks for Bitcoin to make a massive reversal. Took about 2 weeks for Ethereum to start doing its reversal. A little bit more muted, but still we got that reversal because of these massive inflows. Now, what does that mean overall for the price? Well, if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin went up around 250% from that bottom after the launch all the way up to the top. 230 is the number. So if we take 230%, then we're coming close to about $5 for XRP. Now, does that resonate as the big move? I don't think that it does. Let me take a step back here and let's talk about it, because Bitcoin, we understand as a store of value. XRP is what drives payment transactions. And the question right now is the store of value more valuable than the actual function, the actual use case? Well, to this point in crypto, the answer to that has been yes. However, if we just consider how undervalued XRP is at 124 billion market cap, and we consider that Bitcoin as the store of value is currently sitting just shy of $2 trillion in market cap, if XRP were to rip, let's say 10 to 15x right now, or let's call it 12x, which is what I think is going to happen. 12x right now puts XRP at a $1.5 trillion market cap. And that might sound a little bit crazy to a lot of people, but it doesn't to a speculative asset like XRP in the crypto world, a crypto world which in fact has not had the altcoin season and blow off banana zone moment that we've seen every single time in the cycle. What we normally see is we see a nice little run up, which we've seen nice little run ups for the main altcoins. Then we saw a big dip. We've seen Wintermute. We've seen the attacks that have happened. Now it is my belief that we're in a reversal. Quantitative tightening has stopped. Quantitative easing is on the plate. Fed rate cuts are coming in, and they're going to get more and more and more aggressive. We are less than 6 months away from Kevin Hassett most likely taking over the Fed and doing some aggressive rate maneuvers and massive amounts of quantitative easing. That means that this market is primed for a massive move. Now, don't forget the M2 money supply continues to pump. So what does that mean for the price? Well, it is my belief, because I am one of those guys who just think it's crazy to think that it would happen. But I think that we're about to spike right now to about $4.20. Why? Because 420, and you know why it's 420. And I think that's going to happen right here around Christmas at just because, to me, there's a symmetry to these kind of pumps. So I do think that we're going to see an XRP breakout to $4.20. And that's only going to be the start of the rally, because the market is waiting for a massive move. And then my next target zone after that is $6 to $7.50, again, in this cycle. And then I believe that once we've reached that sort of range right there, then altcoin season becomes inevitable. And I think that the capital flowing from Bitcoin will start heavily favoring XRP. And by the way, I do think that Bitcoin goes up to at least 150 to 170,000 in this next massive pump that we get. A secondary pump, if you will, blow off top, call it what you will. But we're going to have a massive altcoin season. XRP runs to $25. And the last piece of information that I want to give you is this, and it's very simple to me. No bull market peak indicators have been hit. At best, we've had Bitcoin dominance flash every once in a while, and we've had the altcoin season index flash every once in a while. But we have not had long and short-term holder supply getting triggered. We've not had any of these other major indicators trigger at all during this cycle. Now, for any of the 4-year cycle bros who still think that the 4-year cycle is meaning that right now we've already seen the top of Bitcoin and it's only down from there, here's what I would say. In order for that to play out, you would have to say to yourself, and you would have to believe this, by the way, greed no longer exists. No, greed is what drives all of these markets. So when you look at these things, when you look at these indicators, when you look at all of these reasons, et cetera, when you find anything that you want to justify that 4-year cycle, here's what I say. There's absolutely no way that people, humans, have lost greed. Greed is what drives this market. Greed, like Gordon Gekko said, is good, at least for crypto, that is. So just consider this. Bitcoin's going to have another legacy pump. Ethereum is going to have another legacy pump, and all of that is going to funnel into XRP. We are 14 days out from the ETF. Guys, it is my belief right now that there is no better time than right now today to buy XRP for that $25 run. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.